Okay, it's time for today's CSS Battle. Let's see what we've got. Okay. Now, how are we going to make those? Right. Okay. Start with the base template. Set that background to that. Let's just make one P to start off with. Okay. Let's give this a height. 100 to 200. Oops. Eight? Okay. I think we're going to halve this, so let's do a -100 and then that one's going to be 8. This one's going to be 108, 208. How about 192? Is that about halfway? Yeah, that's probably about right. Can we do this with a couple of conic gradients, maybe? Take that out. Conic gradient. Call that 15. Maybe 60. So 45. That's 150. Make it transparent for 25%, and then this color. Wrong color. This color. Then we'll also do from 45 degrees. It's not quite right. too far, so how about 40 and 40? Down is going to be 50, 38, 39, 40, 42, what, that's 43, 42. Ugh. Okay, well I don't really like that. But we can then use that. 40. That's definitely not going to work as I want it to. Okay, how are we going to do those arrows is the question. I think we might end up just using linear gradients, but let's get rid of that temporarily. Then instead of this, we use a linear gradient, 45 degrees. Transparent for 20 pixels. So we're doing the bottom left first, okay. And let's add some colour stops so that we can see what's going on. See, that would be a so this one's to be 40, 80. That doesn't quite want to be 40. How about 38, 37, 39, 38, 37, 36. 36 is probably about as close as we're going to get there. 76, 72, 66, 67, 66, 65. Oh God. 65 and a half. Ugh. Then we also need the second part of this. Which will be another blue. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 1 bigger, so let's make that 75. 75 looks right. 36. That's 26, 27, 28 and a half. So add 30, 100 and 6 looks about right. Let's have a look. Right, we've got 2 stripes. Right, now we don't want to move them at all. We want it to be 100% wide, and then 50 pixels tall. No, we don't. In fact, if we just leave that like that, we're going to take this bit out because we're going to reuse it. We'll call that C for color stops. And then we'll lay one on top of here. Let's try minus 45 degrees. We're going to move here. That's too far. How about 60, 70, 80, 4, 5. /100% and 50 pixels. That's the wrong play. Well, that doesn't seem to have worked very well at all. That's because it has shifted itself down. $283. Where are they gone? Okay, they need to go further that way. So what happens if I take that out? -60, 50, 40, 35. Right. That gets us those two fairly damn close. And then we want a standard linear gradient. That is transparent for 40 pixels. This color for what I'm guessing is 20 pixels, and then transparent. We need a 0 there and a comma, and then we wonder why that has not worked. Oh, because that wants to be 60 pixels. That should get us the line in the middle. All we need to do is shift that over by 100 pixels and just do repeat Y on it. Right, and that gets us 2 arrows that way. This is definitely not the prettiest thing you'll ever see. Now we do a second P. That minus 100 maybe should be minus 200. Then for the second P, we want that margin to be 100. Yeah. 8 minus 0, 192. That gets those like that. Then we do just scale minus 1 should match up nicely. That's damn close. Let's see what we get. .9. Who could have predicted? Look at these edges. Ugh. Oh, it doesn't get any better that way around. See, now why does that work for one side and then is completely out for the other? That's closer, but I'm worried about this dot here. So that gets rid of that dot there. Everything else is see, 99.9 is just annoying. Okay, I think we're going to have to scrap this idea because it just don't work now. We will do the arrows separately. Yeah, let's use one element to get the arrow shape completely. So let's get rid of all of that. Height 100, width 15 to 105, 90, background orange for now, margin 130. Have a look where that is. Oh, that's just going to be 8, isn't it? clip path. Now then, X, so 0 polygon 0 50%. Uh, 50 pixels 0, 100% 0, 50 pixels 50%. That's not 50 pixels. About 45, 44, 43. See, that gets us the top chevron, which is not bad. And then we will go to 100%, 100%. 50 pixels, 100%. Does that get us all the way there? That gets us chevron, and then if we make this the right color, which is that, we can see the lines are out just by a little tiny bit. 43, 42, 41, 42, 40, 42. Let's make it 92 wide. Now 50 pixels might be 49, 47, 48, 49, it might be 51. Nope. 50 is as good as we're going to get on that. Okay, well, let's just set this to have a -100. We'll add a second P. And 48. 58, 64. How far out is that? About 65, 64, 63, 64 and a half. Then it's about as bad as the one underneath it. So that's probably about as close as we're going to get there for now. We're going to add a -100 to that. Add another P. And give this a scale of -1 just to flip it round. And then give that a margin of 0. 140, 240, 220, 226, 228, 227, 226 and a half, 225 and a half, Right, it gets worse that way, so let's just leave that at 226. And we'll do a plus P. Also gives that a minus 100. Add the fourth P. This still isn't going to work. 320. I think 320 is too far. Yeah. 280 is not far out. Maybe 2 more pixels. And then let's just do a small linear gradient on here that will start transparent for 130 pixels. This color to 170 pixels and transparent again. That should have lined up with, oh no, it's too big. Oh. Then we add a left of 90 pixels and a width of 200 pixels and a repeat Y. I don't think this is going to get me it either. There we go, another 99.9% match. Okay. That's frustratingly annoying. So let's start with just one again. Get rid of that linear gradient for now as well. I wonder. 65, 60. That might be 65 and 165. So let's go 100 by 100. Give it a background of orange again. I think we already decided that's there. Actually, I only want it to be 50 high. try doing I'll do minus. See, that's very close. 31. That's very close. Then we will make this a linear gradient of this blue for 20 pixels. Then transparent. And then that blue. We also want this at 90 degrees. Right, that was never going to be right. So, how about 60, 70, that's too far, 50, 40. 40 looks like it'd be close. Is it 43? And am I one too far over? That's 32. Okay. Then this needs to 43 seems to be the sweet spot. 60, 58. Okay, that looks fairly close. If I made that actual 45 degrees, yeah. So let's do far A for angle. Let's do A plus B. So we want its bottom margin to be 0. We want this next one at minus 50, minus 100, and then A of 45 degrees. I don't think this is going to give me any better score than the previous one, but hey, you know. Add another P. Then this one wants its margin to be 260. No, 0. 260. 250, 251, 252, 253, 252, 251 seems to be the one that's least broken, so that's great. Minus 100, and then we'll just just add one more P. This is horrible. So that gives us those shapes. They're not great because the edges have been locked. Just because this is the easiest way. 40 pixels. 160 pixels. Add in that color stop. Shift it over by 90 pixels. Make it 200 pixels wide. And do only a repeat on Y. That isn't going to work neither. But, you know. So the next thing to try is a 100 by 100. Shift this into rough. Bless me. 100A. Rotate 45 degrees. 28. 29. 101. 28. You telling me it's not quite? Let's just leave that as 129 for now. Solid 30 pixels. Let's just check what we've got. Okay. This is not going to be pretty. And we actually want to do border width 0 pixels, 0 pixels, something like that. Those would be the right ones. So now let's make that 70 and 70. Let's have a look at how that looks. That's much closer. there. Put it here. Get rid of this 30 pixels. Okay. So now we do plus P. We add another P in. Now we've gone all the way down there. We need to do a minus 100, 200. We'll bring it into line. So let's make that 100. And then we want 0, margin 0, 59, 69, 79, 89 I think is too much. 87 maybe, 86, 85. 85 is nearly right. We'll call that quits there. And then we're on to the third one, so we add another minus 100. We add a third P. Okay, that looks about right. The bit I don't like about this, so I'm going to do 2 coverings afterward. Could I do it with 1 covering? I can do it with 1 big covering. Can't I? Yes, I can. Add the minus 100 there, and then we add 1 more P. We give that a margin of 0. What's the difference between the first two? 29, so 30, 85, 56. 56, so 204, 254. So far we've got that, which is not far off. 255 is about as good as we get on that. And then we add a final P. Now this one is going to be slightly more. Take 0. Border none. Background orange. Width 100%. Height 100%. Margin 0. Minus 200. 190. Apparently. should be a linear gradient. Starts with this color, goes down for 100. Then we make it transparent to 200 pixels. Then we make it that color again for 0. Okay, and what's the bettings that this is a 99.9% as well? Oh, well, that finally got me a 100% match. So we're just going to stick with that. It's horrendous. I don't like it. I may rethink later and see if I can do something better, but that works for no apparent reason. The diff still looks a little bit squiffy, but whatever. So we will minify that and we will unit replace that, and this is not going to be a good score at all. Let's also take out all of those because we don't need them, and hit submit. Yeah, that is a terrible score. Is there a better way I could have done? Ooh. Ooh, I'm an idiot. Ooh, I am an idiot. Okay. Okay. Let's start with the base template. Let's do 1p. Let's change this background to this first. Width. 200. Height 200. Border solid 30 pixels. That colour. Rotate 45 degrees. That might be too. Is that going to be too big? That might be too small. 220. Put 220. Oh, hang on. Let's go 180 and 180. Let's set a margin on it of 0 and 30. Set the margin before the rotate. Doesn't help. Oh, I hate these things. 30 and 30. And 90 is not going to help either. Looks about right for the middle. Let's have a look at how. I think I want this to be. I think I want this to actually be the inside pair. So this will be interesting. Because obviously I am currently too big for that. So let's go 160 and 160. How about 120 and 120? I think that would probably be about right. Now then, go 50, 60, and then 100. And 2. Okay, that'd be padding of 10 pixels. Okay, what's that done? That made that whole box bigger, didn't it? So then take this down to 110, 110, make 100, and 100, and do outline, solid 30 pixels. I was hoping the padding was going to kick in before that. Do you do more than one outline? Who knows? Solid 20 pixels. Transparent. I think that just breaks outline, yeah, that's what I thought. Close. So close. Right, well I'm going to pause recording just so that I can go and have a wee, and then I'll have a look at this bit. Okay, let's get back to this thing. Okay. What if we made that bigger and made it to the outside ones instead? So 150 by 150 maybe. That's not going to be big enough. How about 200 by 200. Is that 20, 18, 10, and then 60. That's too wide, so 180, 170 maybe? Right, that's not going to be wide enough. That's not going to be wide enough. So 180, okay. 64, 63, 62. 62 looks good. And then inset, solid, 60 pixels. can't do that. How about using 2 box shadows maybe? Box shadow. 60, no, 0, 0, 0, 60 pixels. Also make that inset. 60 is too much. 50, 40, 40 will get the inside line. Nice. And then make that this color. And then we also want an inset 0, 0, 0, 10 pixels of transparent, hopefully. No, that's going to need to be the light color. Let's also try to make it. Okay, that gets us that. Then we want something over the top of that, so let's make another P. Plus P, rotate 0. Box shadow, none. Border, none. Background, orange. Width, 100 view width. Height, 100 view height. Margin, 0, 0. Minus 300. Okay, why is this not? Why has that still got all of those? Oh, because I'm missing a semicolon there. Right, none. And -8. That looks like it's gone behind, and I don't know why that's gone behind. Why has that gone behind? It should be covering that. Just make that black for a second. Why is that behind? that behind? It should be on top of this. Got rid of that, we've got rid of that. Taking out the rotate. Let's just take out that padding. And that should be 200. That does not help. Let's put a solid background. Let's make this a linear gradient. That colour, 130 pixels, no, 140 pixels, no, 100, transparent to 200 pixels, then that colour. If I take this background and make that black, why are my P's in the wrong order? Sorry, position absolute. Top 0. Left 0. That position should be being applied. Why is it not? Maybe because I need to do that first. No. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 20. I don't know why, but whatever. 80, 70, 60. Oh, probably those margins there. Top minus 40 pixels. How about 0? Right, so 70, how about 10? just need to move this maybe to 0, 0. It's going to be minus. Well, okay, maybe. Then change that back to this. Don't think this is going to work. Linear gradient. That for 140 pixels. That for 260 pixels. Those can actually just be transparent. That needs to have 0. And then we shift it in by 100 pixels. We do a repeat Y on it. We set it 200 pixels wide. That will not pass. Looks better there. So 1202 199 198. It's gotta be 2. Okay, let's try centering this for a start. So top 50%, left 50%, and then translate minus 50%, minus 50%. What does that? That has not put that anywhere near the right place. Let's use transform, translate, just temp second P. Why is that not in the damn center? Let's do margin 0 on the body. Let's actually make that the body. Let's also then close the body. Let's do star with a margin of 0. That'll get everything into the right places. Take that out, take that out. Party or. And then we will do that. Change that back to that and that. Pixels maybe. This is a terrible solution. Let's see if that works. See, we're at the 99.9 again. We're just going to leave it at this. I'm not happy with it, but it works. So we'll just leave it like that. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.